What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm here today to give you guys a review of the Teddy Santis New Balance 990 V3 in this white and blue colorway. Today's video is brought to you by who else? The good people from Heffelux. So Heffelux is my all-time favorite sneaker insoles, and they sell eTPU insoles, which really is the same material you'll find inside Adidas Boost. So if you're looking to add some additional comfort inside your shoes, be sure to check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box. You'll see they sell a variety of different insoles, so depending on the type of insole density and the cushioning setup you're looking for, you're going to find there's a suitable insole for anyone. So I've been a paying customer of Heffelux for years now, and I find them to be extremely comfortable. So if you guys want to check them out and try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout to get 15% off your entire purchase. So this is the latest New Balance release as part of Teddy Santis' Made in USA line. This is part of what people call Season 2, which consists of a bunch of new colorways of New Balance's 990 series. So this is the 990 V3 in the white and blue colorway, and these drop on November 23rd for a price of $200 US or $280 here in Canada. And the style code for this shoe is M990WB3. So unlike the majority of the past Teddy Santis New Balance 990s, where they typically had very earthy or warm tones, this pair in contrast really changes up the script, and it's much more of a cold feeling shoe, which I thought was pretty dope. I know a lot of people online are saying that these are the grown man Fragment Jordan 1 equivalents, so call it what you want, but at the end of the day, for me at least, this colorway really spoke to me. So diving into the details of this shoe, the base layer of the sneaker is covered in this white colored mesh. Overlaid on top of the mesh, we have a very buttery and soft black colored nubuck, along with this hit of white leather at the very top of the toe. Surrounding the front toe box, we have a very light beige, almost gray colored nubuck, and then covering the mid panel of the shoe, here we have a sail or off-white colored leather. The top two eyelets are constructed in this off-white colored TPU or plastic, and then stitched on top of the mid panel, we have the New Balance N logo, which is done in this reflective 3M finish in a combination of dark blue with a black outline. Moving downwards, we have more of that same mesh that we saw earlier on the toe box, and we have this overlay of this royal blue colored nubuck. Covering the bottom of the heel, we have more of that light tan or light gray colored nubuck that we saw earlier on the front toe cap, and we have 990 branding pressed on in silver on the lateral side only. Above this, we have this perforated royal blue colored nubuck along with this red colored New Balance branding, and the top of the heel is covered in this dark gray reflective 3M panel with Made in USA branding. As for the laces, so these come with two different lace options. The standard or default lace is a flat style lace done in this slightly off-white color, but they also give you a secondary pair which is an ever so slightly darker cream color. Underneath this, so the tongue is covered in that same white mesh material, and on the top we have this dark gray nylon, and we have that typical waffle pattern pressed on, which is common across most of your other 990 V3s. And here we have New Balance and USA branding in silver and blue. The back of the tongue and the interior liner of the shoe, this is done in this mesh material, giving it more of a grippy and slightly rough feel to the touch. As for the insoles, so these come with their standard foam line insole. It's done in this cream color, and we have New Balance branding stamped on the heel. So the upper of the 990 sits atop this full-length absorbed foam midsole, which is painted in white on the forefoot and gray on the bottom heel. In addition, we also have end cap technology, which is this vintage-looking cream-colored wedge, which is found wrapping around the heel, and this is a dual-density foam setup consisting of a softer EVA core surrounded by a stiffer polyurethane rim, which gives you that good balance of softness and support. And right above the midsole, we have this black colored TPU heel clip with New Balance branding, and this helps give you additional structure and support for the back end of the sneaker. Finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, here we have your classic 990 V3 outsole. So this is constructed out of a combination of royal blue and gray colored rubber. We have a diamond-shaped traction pattern on the forefoot, along with these three horizontal grooves to give you added flexibility on the forefoot, and underneath the rubber in the middle, we have a carbon fiber shank plate, which helps with torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, to me these fit like most of my other 990 V3s, so I personally prefer to go a half size down to a size 9.5. So my feet measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I go down to a 9.5 in New Balance models like the 992, 993, the 990 V3, V4, V5, the 998, and a lot of my New Balance 550s as well. And in comparison, I stick true to size or a size 10 in other New Balance silhouettes like the 997, the 990 V2, because I find that both those two models typically have more of a narrow toe box. In other New Balance models like the 991, the 1500, and the 1530, I stick true to size for those as well. And last but not least, the 2002R. So if you have wider feet or if you like more of a roomy toe box, then you can stick true to size for this model. But if you like more of that snug one-to-one fit, and especially if you have regular width feet or narrow width feet, then go a half size down. Moving on to the comfort, so the 990 V3, in my opinion at least, is a very comfortable New Balance sneaker. For an everyday casual use shoe, it's great. It gives you a good balance of cushioning while not being too mushy and too soft, and there's definitely a ton of support with the end cap as well. So this is one of those shoes that I can wear for many hours in a day, or if I'm going on vacation, which I recently did. A 990 V3 is always a very solid choice. And with the mesh upper, it's going to be very breathable too, and that's never a bad thing. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality, I thought it was very nice. The nubucks, like I mentioned before, had a very buttery and smooth feel to the touch, and the leathers used, while they weren't the best cut of leather I've seen on a shoe before, it didn't have a very obvious and hard plastic coating on top of the leather. And similarly, the build I thought was very solid too. I didn't have any major flaws aside from some strings of glue that I had to pull off on the midsole. Other than that, the panels were consistently cut and shaped, the stitch job was very solid as well, so I really had no major complaints at all. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, this colorway is a very clean colorway of the 990 V3. I know the Teddy Santis Made in USA line, it's lost a lot of steam and pairs are sitting and can be available for heavy discounts, which is always a good thing for big New Balance fans. But for this pair, I didn't want to wait, and I was very excited to drop my review of these because, like I mentioned in the beginning, the color combination of these whites, the creams, and the blue and the dark gray, it's so unlike anything else that Teddy Santis has released in his Made in USA line so far. And I guess it doesn't hurt that it kind of reminds people, myself included, a little bit of the Fragment Air Jordan 1s too. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this white and blue New Balance 990 V3. These also dropped alongside a V2 as well in a similar color scheme, and I actually picked those up as well. And if I had to pick one over the other, honestly, it's so hard to choose. I originally came into this being a V3 over a V2 guy 9 times out of 10, but getting them both in hand, it's really hard to choose one over the other. So let me review the V2 pair as well, and I'll give you guys my final assessments between the two. But in the meantime, drop a comment down below to let me know which of the two models you guys prefer on this colorway. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on my Instagram page at esco8, check out my Twitter as well at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.